Caitlin Clark took the WNBA by storm as a rookie. She packed arenas, broke viewership records, and made the league relevant for the very first time.
Wheeler finds Clark from the logo.
But instead of being celebrated, she's faced hostility, cheap shots, resentment, and silence from the league. But now, in year 2, things have changed. The WNBA finally gets it. If they want to rise, they have to protect their golden girl. Well done, WNBA. Well done. Just kidding. They haven't learned a single thing.
I mean, is that displacement?
Her way off. Gray uses her body, hangs to get the lob over the top. Clark launches and draws the foul.
The WNBA is still failing Caitlin Clark, and now it's getting downright embarrassing. Making NBA videos for a living sounds like a dream, but behind the scenes, it's a grind that quietly wears on you. Constant deadlines, creative pressure, mental fatigue, and no matter how passionate you are, some days it's just overwhelming. After a while, that pressure started to build, and that's when I realized something important. Mental health struggles are real, and they don't just affect creators, they affect everyone. You know, back in the day, talking about mental health was seen as weak. If I brought it up with friends or family, they'd laugh or say I was being soft. But the more I learn about the world today, the more I realize this is one of the biggest pandemics we're facing. Studies show more people than ever are hurting themselves because of mental health, and that's heartbreaking. That's why I'm proud to talk about today's paid partner, BetterHelp, an online therapy platform that connects you with credentialed therapists from home. It's designed to make therapy more accessible, with flexible scheduling, licensed professionals, and no waiting rooms. Visit BetterHelp.com/HoopReports for 10% off your first month, because your mental health isn't just important, it's everything. Look at this play. First, Angel Reese blatantly shoves Aaliyah Boston in the back. No whistle. Then, Caitlin Clark makes a routine foul to stop an easy layup. Then suddenly, one flop later, Angel turns around and postures up like she's ready to fight. So, the refs stop the game, go to the monitors, and honestly, it should have gone one of two ways. Either just 2 free throws for the foul, or an offensive foul on Angel for the obvious flop. But instead, the ref says this.
After review, the on-court ruling of a personal foul on Caitlin Clark has been upgraded to a flagrant foul penalty 1.
I know, right? Are you kidding me?
I have an issue with the way she reacted. I have an issue with the way it's being handled. I have a problem with it being called a flagrant foul. It's a take foul.
As one fan perfectly put it, that's not a flagrant. It's an intentional foul followed by a flop. What really makes this hypocritical is how Angel spent all of last year either taking shots at Caitlin herself or hyping up her teammates who did. Anyway, it's obvious the WNBA is siding with Angel Reese instead of Caitlin Clark, which is the most baffling, embarrassing, backward type of favoritism I've seen in 20 years of watching basketball. I mean, so you pull up Angel Reese's stats and yeah, okay, double-double. On paper, that looks solid. But there's a massive problem with those numbers. Like, first off, her field goal percentage at the rim is, I swear, I'm not making this up, 40%. 40% at the rim. For someone who towers over the average WNBA player, 40%. That's so bad that I literally had to double check from multiple sources to confirm it.
She just seems as uncoordinated as a baby giraffe.
Like, if a friend told me that, I'd literally say, nah, you're lying. No way. I mean, I genuinely thought, in my heart of hearts, that there was no chance a player being talked about in the same breath as Caitlin Clark is hitting 40% at the rim. But apparently, I was wrong. And then there's the rebounds. So I saw this clip the other day.
Cardoso with the miss. Angel Reese picks it up, what she's good at. Getting another offensive rebound. She says, give me that. How about another? Persistence trying to pay off. Jones gets a piece. Angel Reese won't give up.
She's literally just rebounding her own bricks and padding her stats. So when you see her put up double-digit rebounds, you got to ask yourself, how much of that is legit? How many of those should have just been baskets? I mean, let's be real here. Like, come on. Are we watching the Harlem Globetrotters here? And to make it even funnier, when fans started calling her rebounds me-bounds as a joke, she actually thought it'd be a good idea to trademark it.
But when y'all get more meals, y'all eat the wrong thing. But yeah, happy game day.
But anyway, this is who the WNBA is calling Caitlin Clark's rival. And somehow, this is the player they've decided to favor over her. Like, not long ago, the league put out an official statement condemning racism against Angel Reese. And to be clear, that's great. Racism has no place anywhere. But here's the double standard. When Caitlin Clark is getting targeted on the court, repeatedly cheap-shotted, shoved for no reason, even by Angel herself, it's been pretty much radio silence from the league.
Three Sky players coming over.
No statements, no support, no nothing. And this isn't a one-off. It's a pattern. The WNBA is clearly favoring Angel Reese over Caitlin Clark. And honestly, it makes no business sense.
The game and the way that people love her. So, I mean, she's changed the attendance, she's changed the viewership, she's changed sponsorships.
Earlier this season, when Caitlin Clark went down with an injury, the league instantly felt it. Ticket prices didn't just dip, they crashed.
WNBA, they're having troubles with tickets now because I think Caitlin Clark is out for what? How many weeks is she out?
Now, imagine if she one day gets seriously injured from one of these reckless hard fouls. What happens to the WNBA then? Exactly. And yet, the league's doing nothing. No protection, no accountability, no change.
When something egregious happens on the floor, that person needs to be tossed. I think they need to be fined. I think their organization need to be fined.
It's the same story as last year.
WNBA television ratings down more than 50%. We should probably do a study on that. I'm not sure why that would be. Wait, since Caitlin Clark's injury.
I'm convinced that who's ever running the WNBA has the IQ of a goldfish. I mean, there have been 0 suspensions, nothing consequential for the players who've taken shots at Caitlin Clark. Not in her rookie year, not in her second year, nothing. The WNBA has been radio silent on this issue, despite the growing number of people calling it out.
When something egregious happens on the floor, that person needs to be tossed. I think they need to be fined. I think their organization need to be fined.
This all makes you start to wonder, just how bad are the executives in the WNBA? Because let's be real, Caitlin isn't some bench warmer. She's not just another player on the court. She's the golden girl. She's literally the WNBA's biggest ticket to relevance and growth. Yet still, they're doing nothing to protect her. Meanwhile, when a few fans say something rude toward Angel Reese, the league rushes out a statement, launches an investigation, and publicly stands with Angel. But when it comes to Caitlyn getting shoved, hacked, and bullied, crickets. Thank God the Fever signed Sophie Cunningham, an actual enforcer, the first real teammate in 2 seasons who looks ready to stand up for Caitlyn on the floor.
Going coast to coast. And here's we got another.
Honestly, this is the only protection Caitlyn's ever gotten the W. But then her enforcer gets fined by the WNBA. And after that, a petition actually goes up calling for her to be banned from the league. Like, seriously? The one player who finally stands up to protect the WNBA's golden girl? And she's the one catching heat? That's where we're at. Welcome to the WNBA. Why are so many WNBA players going out of their way to be more physical, sometimes outright hostile, toward Caitlyn Clark? Well, I think they've taken a page out of the Dylan Dynasty Brooks playbook.
Get that board, he's got all ball. Let's see.
Dylan Brooks and Kevin Durant get tangled up.
Down to Wemby. He falls. Brooks is there. Him and Brooks fighting for it.
See, Dylan wasn't some superstar in the NBA. Decent defender, could hit the occasional 3, nothing crazy, except his antics on the court and some of the stuff he chooses to wear. But you see, that's what got him famous. And it paid off. I mean, all that harassment he did towards stars got ESPN talking about him, made him the most hated man in the NBA, and then got him a bag that'll feed his family for generations. And in the WNBA, it feels like some players see Caitlyn Clark as their golden opportunity to do the same. Just look at Angel Reese.
I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Would Angel be as famous without Caitlyn Clark? Honestly, probably not. I'm not saying no one watches her. She's got fans. But Caitlyn is the engine. The reason ticket sales are up. The reason the league's even in these headlines. You see, that viral moment where Angel flopped and got in Caitlyn's face, that hostility she showed was just about the camera. She wanted a moment, a highlight. And come on, this is probably going to be her biggest highlight of the year. As for the rest of the players taking cheap shots, unlike Dylan Brooks, they're not getting a bag. You see, the NBA can't afford to hand out big contracts because they're hugely profitable. But the WNBA, it's losing tens of millions a year. So all these players are getting is notoriety. If the WNBA actually wants to level up, they just need to do a few simple things. Protect Caitlyn Clark. Tell the refs, any hostile, non-basketball play toward her, immediate ejection. Then suspend the player. 1 game, 2 games. Then send out a public message. Condemn the violence. Make it very clear this isn't tolerated. Then, they need to market Caitlyn like a star. The NBA rode the Michael Jordan wave and went global. Caitlyn has that kind of star power. They need to use it more. But instead, the WNBA's fumbling the moment. The Fever just beat the Storm recently. Caitlyn didn't shoot great, but she dropped 9 dimes and helped lead the win. And the league's Twitter account barely mentioned her. Once again, the WNBA is being the WNBA. And if they mess this up, if they fail to capitalize on Caitlyn Clark, it might go down as the biggest missed opportunity in sports I've seen in my entire life.